everybody. Hello, welcome back.
We got down to Bremen.
Well, yeah, we had gone down to Bremen, and we had entered, and you all had entered through the northern part of the city, and as usual, Peter was being a little bit of a snitch.
I remember he was being a shit to me.
Yes, he was being.
He's been a moody teenager.
Yes. In any case, you all went down to the library.
That's right. We were in the Temple of Agma.
That's where that will help you as soon as.
Is that correct? We were in the Temple of Agma?
Yes, you were in the Temple of Agma.
Oh, that's right. We had just told her what we were looking for.
You
said, "This is your room. This is your room." Okay.
What you were looking for, and I had sort of.
I think I had asked for the meaning of the varying amulets.
Okay.
And
so you had gone.
How we were going to be using these to defeat.
All right.
Thug.
So in these various rooms, so I will let you have gone with them, and Myrna, who is one of the acolytes of the church at Agma. By the way, hello everybody. If there's anybody out there listening, we're just jumping right in here. We've got another one of those interesting evenings. We're going to start with the two people we have here, and we're just going to go. Go ahead and put on your. Gotta turn on my microphone. Nobody can hear me. If you want to put on your things, and make sure they're on. Yeah, make sure they're green. You got yours on? Cool. I forgot to turn mine on.
Yeah.
So, Serenity had gone into room 2 where she was told she would be able to look for information about the monks of what was possibly her order. You were going into that room to get information about the various amulets.
Yes.
That are here and there. Let me get this closed off. And Peter immediately asked for information on how to kill a kraken. And he had gone in there with him because that seems to be his whole thing. He's ready to head out on that mission.
Yeah.
So that's his focus right now. You can have followed along with them all this time, and if there's something you want to research, this is the Library of Agma, God of Knowledge. We have 2 knowledge gods, very big in this game. One of them is Agma, the other one is Saraswati, who is several people in the sort of following her. Well, thank you so much. You're keeping us safe. You're such a good boy. Scamp. Thank you. Thank you. So you can go into one of those rooms, or you can go into any one of the other rooms. But she very, very clearly asks you, what room is it? What is it? What information is it that you seek?
So right now we're in flashback mode as you guys went in there, right?
No. They are right here.
Okay.
And you managed to arrive with them. That's what we're going to say.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. The only notable thing, there's a large general, you can see it right here, general library in the center. And then there are smaller private rooms with doors there. What's interesting is there are these little librarian robot kind of things. It's the best way to describe them. They're constantly going around and sort of picking up books and replacing them and reshelving them here and there. One of them comes up to you and says, what is the information that you see?
Well, I don't know if I'm necessarily seeking any specific information. I think I'm currently just curious in general, specifically about the undead that have been seen in the area, and if there have been historical times in the past where like an undead scourge has kind of plagued the land in the past.
And you hear it sound from one of the what would be a joint, but it's actually a metal joint, kind of scratching up here. And he says, "Well, there is general information about undead down here, or you could speak with Benifer himself. Benifer is our high priestess, but you would have to wait to get an audience with her.
How long of a wait?
Maybe a day or two. Should I tell her to expect you?"
Do we know how long we intend to be here?
Well, I think that the most important thing is that we get the knowledge we seek. But we do need to make haste. I would say no more than another day or so.
And the only thing that I will remind, because she'll show up in shortly, is that Serenity had mentioned taking care of whatever the undead scourge is that's running around this place.
We had talked about that is a symptom of a bigger problem.
I will let you all work that out.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there so that it was.
I do.
There you go. So I will let you two continue.
So I essentially just want to know if there was tactics used in the past to help mitigate the impact of the undead in the area. If there was such a, even if it was caused by something different. Do you know what I mean?
We've encountered undead several times, and they've been quite cumbersome every time. I don't know that we've actually vanquished very many of them. We've temporarily defeated them to see them retreat and perhaps come back in another form or at another time.
When you say we,
myself and my fellow travelers.
Raw historical records as generations of the past.
Yeah, this is my first foray into the undead. I know little more than what I've learned recently in combat.
Here, so that you're in the right spot. All right.
So please share what you've learned, and I will do the same.
Then, in that case, it would be wise for me to speak to the priestess, even if it means waiting.
You may have to catch up with us, or we need to stay another day.
Right.
I understand.
All right. So looks like we've basically got everybody here. All right.
Where's Brian?
Huh? He'll make it.
Brian, where you at? Oh.
He'll join us. He's seeing. Oh, he's typing right now. He pulled one of those things where he went directly home and forgot that it was Tuesday.
Who misses a session?
Right. I never. I would show up on time. I would show up on time.
We know who's bringing snacks.
Okay, there we have it. Cool. All right. All right. So the little robot by you goes. He goes. He goes. So one back. In the meantime, you can look through this book, and he brings down a book, and it's called The Tome of the Undead, and leaves you to peruse it. You, my friend, are in this small room there, Merrid, and you have the librarian there with you in your room. You walk in, he says, "Yes, can I assist you?"
I would show that I would bring out a book of my notes.
Mm-hmm.
I am myself a follower of Saraswati, and I am on part of the sacred journey to fight the impending influence that Ashok has on our realm with his undead. and his brides. We have begun to acquire the amulets of his brides. I was wanting to see if you have information about the varying powers. We have learned they do different things. And as we collect them, I was seeking deeper knowledge.
And he goes and he grabs one book. I keep saying he, it's a robot. He goes and grabs one book. He says, "You can start here." And it's a huge book about, and it's rare stones of Islam. And you open up, and it's just books about various stones. And the first part of it is mostly just about the types of stones that there are. Bloodstone, quartz, things like that. Then you get to a second section, and it starts to go into the uses for the various stones and what types of magic that they have in them. Roll, it would be an intelligence check. Sorry, not a charisma check for you.
Can I please get a amen on that? Amen. Starting this section off.
So as you look through the various stones that you know to be there, the first thing that you notice is that each one of them has control over a specific thing. Pearls are specifically strength and power.
And Merrid would absentmindedly clutch his chest, realizing that he doesn't have the dragon talent.
He no longer has the talent.
Yeah, he doesn't have it. And he's thinking, they said they would find me in 2 days' time.
It's been more.
It should be
tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow he should show up with your adjusted gem. The gem around Serenity's neck, the aquamarine gem, it deals with tranquility and renewal.
That's that turquoise one, right?
It's actually aquamarine. It's not actually turquoise. It's aquamarine. Subtle difference, but definitely different. The green one, the Servant Eye, is that one is a little less known. But that green gem is for nature. Some sort of nature, has to do with nature.
That was
That's the one that Cale's father.
Yes.
Right? Yes, the green one.
The aquamarine was doing what now?
It has to do with tranquility. Well, these are just gems in general. Aquamarine is tranquility and renewal. The green one is nature. A red gem, like this one,
like the red heart.
Remember, it's a cabochon. It's the one that's just like
the cabochon is the red.
Yep.
I have one right now.
You have it right now, to the best of your knowledge. It is to.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
The best of my knowledge? That's one of those sketchy things, Dion, say that make me.
To the best of your knowledge, that's it.
Just like he did make it all for
Dude,
But the purpose of those gems are to sustain life.
Now, there was a difference between the red heart amulet and the blood-covered heart amulet, correct?
So, yeah, this is where things are a little bit odd, and it's you never really figured that out. Roll an insight check since you're doing research into it.
Oh, I got out of my character. Come on, Merrid. Insight. Let's go. Insight is a +0. Fantastic. It's an 18.
Okay. It finally occurs to you that the actual tranquility gem, the tranquility heart that you replaced that one black gem with, was probably under a really powerful illusion. And that's why it looked like a red bleeding heart instead of its real self. you're like, oh, it must have been hidden. It just occurs to you finally that these two things they're totally separate. It is a powerful gem, but it's not one of these 5 gems that these maidens have.
Understood.
And it just finally occurs to you that that's what was probably going on. And the last one, the one that Peter is in search of, the amethyst soul is its name.
The Kraken.
It's for clarity, peace, protection, and spirituality, which Peter needs a little bit of that right now.
That's what brilliant and I have
Clarity, peace, protection, and what?
And spirituality. Yep. All right. And then you can get information on, you go to the back, you get information on a talisman. You already know what the Wellspring of Tranquility does. The Served Eye, you know what it does. There is no listing for that red gem, and there's no listing at all on that amethyst, probably because it's been created within the last year. Because remember, Peter's mother was it would have been created within the last 5 years. Because Peter's been on the run with his mother for 5 years.
Okay.
All right. Let's go back to your research over here.
Can I roll an insight check to see if there's any stones that remind me of the stone my father gave me that joined with the pearl?
Sure.
Insight still +0. You know, you keep looking at it, don't think it's going to change, but 15.
You have another moment of clarity, and they were one gem, and what happened is they were separated. They were something was separated. They're actually one gem.
Oh wow. Okay.
But they got separated somehow.
Interesting. Okay.
And okay, so you're looking for information in this book about. So give me an idea of what you're looking for.
So the idea, since we're here in the library, my thought was, have there been instances of, undead scourge events, generations in the past, and how have these generations dealt with these issues?
So even though, go ahead.
Specifically, in the form of natural, or at least not necessarily magical means, as in if it's a matter of crusades of sorcerers and mages beating back the undead, that's not necessarily what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Just what are the natural methods that may have been used in the past when tools and abilities of today's people may not have been available back then.
All right, so as you look through this book, this may not be the best book for you to look through to get to specifics, because number one, it's really thick. It's like an entire history of undead in the realm. Roll, and you're actually going to roll, you can just do a straight intelligence roll, or you can roll an investigation, whichever one is best for you. Hey, Rose, you're going to pull something off. I love you, sweetie, but you're going to do it.
Yep.
You're going to do it. Your neck is right there.
Go
ahead.
8.
I think it is. Mm-hmm. All right, you said it was going to be either
investigation, or you can just do a regular history check. I mean investigation, I'm sorry. Because you're reading the book. You're investigating through the book.
Okay. Well, it's going to be the same no matter what. It's just a +1.
All right, cool.
So 15 total.
All right, not bad. So a lot of it is just like random undead sightings. But as you look through it, what you begin to notice is there are these chapters that are a bit thicker, where it talks about undead rising in certain spots of Islam at some very specific times. The first one, as you read through it, the one that was the furthest in the past, looks to have taken place very far in the northern part of here, with some tribe. And the more you look at it, the more it sounds like the tribe, that area where you are from. That's where the original one came from. The second one that you hear of, actually, there's not much written about it, and the reason is that it took place off the coast in the waters of the northwestern part of the peninsula.
You said the western?
Northwestern part, and it actually involved dragons and dragonkin. So the first one was like about 1,500 years ago. The one with the dragons was maybe 1,200, 1,000 years ago. It's unclear because there's just not much history on that one. The third one that you hear about that you read about is a bit odd. There was a monastery that was established, and the entire monastery disappeared overnight. And in their place, there were these undead souls there. As far as what's happened since then, not a whole lot of information. But that was about maybe 800 years ago.
For the monastery?
For the monastery. The second to last one is another one of those that's hard to, that there's not much information on, because it involves a set of elves that very much kept to themselves. And so most of it's rumor. And that was maybe like 300 years ago. So there would still be elves alive right now that were there when that initially happened. In fact, you've heard them talk about this person, Morito.
Can you spell it?
Morithl. And it's possible, because of the longevity of the elves, it's possible that she was alive when the original rising, if you will, happened. And it obviously, for the same reason that he can't find anything about the amethyst gem, there is nothing about any final uprising, but there's just a little bit of information about both of them. But the two that it has the most information on is the one in the north by the tribe and the one with the monastery.
So the one for the monastery that was wiped out overnight, approximately, what kind of monastery was that?
It was a monastery dedicated strictly to peace. It had nothing to do with necessarily right, wrong, good, bad, any deity of any type whatsoever. The sole purpose of this monastery was to be a place of tranquility, quiet, a place where the mind could focus on its own thoughts and nothing else. And at the time, the name that you see that was in charge at the time was Narina. Nareena. Narina. I will leave you with that for a moment. All right, so you are in your small library, Serenity, and there is the librarian there, the automaton librarian there for you. And she says, "Yes, and what can I help you with?"
I'm specifically looking for she needs genasi, ascension into the primordial ether, going back to the elements, genie, Jen, specifically kind of anomaly.
Anomalies. What kind of anomalies?
Say, like, the ascension process ending up in everybody disappearing.
Say that last part again.
Anomaly focus on the tribes just disappearing. The ascension process not going into effect.
And she goes over to one section, and there's quite a large section, and she says, what you want is somewhere in here, but I'm not exactly sure where. And you look through it, and the problem is there are so many different genasi, and the whole idea of ascension is a bit of an oddity. Do for me an investigation. So you quickly start going through the, and they're not alphabetized. As these guys are good at what they do, but probably not perfect.
That's going to be it.
All right, so you are struggling to find a book that would help you, but luckily in the room there appear to be two acolytes of Ogma, and they turn around and they're like, it's a new one. You're quite interesting. We've never seen one like you here before. What is it that you're here for?
I'm here because I'm gonna love it with you guys. I woke up dead one day, and my entire trial it's just gone without a trace. No bodies, just completely missing. I was supposed to ascend to my priesthood and re-enter the air element, reunite with the primordial air, but I woke up dead as an undead person, and I got cured. We handled that. You know what I mean?
Very good. Very.
I always get tested every 3 months. And now I'm very concerned with what happened to my people. I have nothing to go off of. Nothing at all.
And they kind of look at each other, and one of them looks after you. He's like, so, are you trying to get back to them?
In a way, maybe just I just want to know what happened to them. They were the only people I ever knew we were a very isolated and secluded tribe of priestesses. And
I would say so. And being one of knowledge, it would seem that ascension, as you call it, would mean going back to the existence where your form came from. Is that correct?
I'm not exactly sure how it works. In our culture, when a woman enters the priesthood and ascends, she kind of becomes like this embodied ethereal element, but you always know that they're there. You feel them on the wind in every breath you take. Sometimes, specifically in like a ceremony or something very spiritual, they would be a little bit more tangible. But I guess, yeah, like it is kind of like you leave this body and you become something else.
and she says, that sounds like you may need to consult with a knowledgeable priest rather than in a book. Perhaps some deity or some demon somewhere knows the answer.
I've reached out to Sarah's body many times. She is our goddess. The tranquil air, the sea, the breeze of spirituality is what she represents to us. But I've received an infuriatingly non-responsive response. Since I became undead, I thought becoming not undead anymore would maybe open up the ley line, but not.
And they say, the one of them says, we will go and consult and get back to you. Can you meet us back here tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, all right. And they walk out, and you hear them whispering, and you see them walk out there. You see Serenity in her room. Yeah, is he trying to get down in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Scout just messing with his bed, yeah.
All right. I'm going to take 1 second because I can tell why she's walking around over there. Literally just like this long a break. Just real quick.
Agma is a brother deity to Siraswati, I believe that's correct.
Since they're both gods, that part of their Agma is the ultimate deity of knowledge. Saraswati is part of her domain, one of her several domains. So Agma is the ultimate in knowledge.
We know we're part of this gambit where the War of the Undead is being brought to Siraswati into Agma, and we were trying to stop it before it progresses any further.
I took notes.
Okay. Are you a note taker?
No.
No.
But I took notes here specifically.
It's good to have them because I'll just be honest. I'm not taking that some of these twists that I throw in there are just kind of.
I'm so spoiled.
Who would have made that leap?
In my two other groups, I have this one woman. She's in both groups. She is a master note taker. She can tell you. She's our treasurer. Keeps track of it. She's such a blessing.
There's a guy in right here. There was a guy in the last group that I was with that he would not just take notes. He would write a story as he went, and then every single time when we started the session, he would recap what happened in the last session through a story from his perspective, and it was fucking hilarious.
Wow, that's great.
Because he would do it in the style of his character, and like there's one other character that he didn't really get along with her because she was like a nitwit or whatever.
His little
and of course, she sent an arrow careening into the back of Ramos over here because she can't aim for shit. That sort of but like way more eloquently.
That's cool.
Now
I love that.
Yeah.
And we're back.
No, and we're back. So you see two priests walking out. They're in the robes that you're used to, having a conversation. The door is open. Serenity, do you stay in there and continue to research, or do you walk out? You see Vaelin out there, and you know Vaelin at this point.
I think when I see Vaelin, I'm going to kind of dejectedly walk out. And did you find anything
of interest, of course. We're in a lot when we find things that are interesting.
Right. Except that I'm blind, but I'm not very intelligent, so like reading isn't my strong suit.
Fair enough.
I have to sound the words out, you know what I mean?
Fair enough. So, what I'm looking through here, and I'm just going to exposition dump as well, but I'm going to basically say it in the way that I understood that you had said it. Okay, so whether or not this is accurate or not, this is how I'm interpreting what I read. What I'm looking at here is what seems like an ebb and flow of the undead in the region over the course of the last 1,500 years, and what seems to be an almost predictable pattern of every 300 to 500 years of having a undead scourge event, and it raises the question: when we're talking about what's happening right now, this could be, if we take a big step back and look at the big picture, is Ashok now just another attempt at some dark influence that's been making this attempt for generations?
He may not even be the big deal.
He might be something that is influenced or driven by something, and it's just his turn to make this attempt.
What? Is there any sort of pattern of what happens right before he starts? Is there anything in the text that is also predictable. That happens before the
careful.
search is done.
Careful, sweetie.
So, two things. One, I'm going to continue to ask you that. But two, one thing I did notice here is that it seems to, every time this uprising happens, it seems to pop up in a different area of the region, impacting a very specific, different group of people.
Right.
So the very first one, which was 1,500 plus years ago, is honestly far north in the tribal lands that my ancestors call home.
Oh shit.
And it kind of raises the question, is that something that my ancestors or those that are closely related to my ancestors, are they directly involved or even responsible?
Serenity. No. Keep going. You keep going.
Then you have another incident about 1,100 or 1,000 years ago, off the coast of the northwestern area of the region, where we don't have a lot of information, and this impacted the Dragon King.
Question. Do you have an idea of where Serenity's tribe would be, like what direction on the map they would have been isolated, living in the mountainous sort of?
The question is not do I, the question is do you. So roll a history check.
Okay. History. Okay. Let's see. Oh wait, I was already on it. Okay. Actually, let's use here. That's gonna be 12 plus, or 12 minus 1, 11.
So details are a little bit difficult to come by, but what would seem clear is you're not native to this plane, and as a result, it's a fluke that you're here even.
Wow.
So,
oh my god, so we kind of like existed in a liminal space.
Well, you would have existed on a plane outside of this plane.
Okay.
And the thing that might come to mind is this weird dragon person that Merrid talked about that just opened a hole.
I saw that.
And he walked through.
I did
and
see
he
that.
walked through it. You saw him walk through out of it. But didn't see him walk through into it. But he went somewhere completely different from there. And that's what it sort of reminds you of.
Okay.
If you could find a place like that, it's possible. For a person that could do that, it's possible.
Like a plane walk.
You could find your way, quote unquote, back.
Or at least peer in and see. Okay. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting, Vaelin.
So that was the second uprising, the one that was in the northwest, with the Dragon King, which we don't have a lot of information on.
Now, did you say that affected?
You can,
dragons. I would get my attention.
You would have been through this already. These two, Peter and what's his name, Cale, are down there still researching how to kill a kraken. Go ahead. You all continue your conversation.
Did you say that affected dragons? Dragon 4.
I'll be flipping through the book here in a little bit. It says, well, it seems to reference that dragonkin were involved, but doesn't necessarily specify whether this was for dragons or dragonborn or anything to that nature.
Interesting.
It's the information is very sparse here. I'm not sure if this is regarding outcast clans
The
or
name,
groups.
the name Kenosha comes to your mind, Merrid.
Kenosha and perhaps the great undead dragon that I gave
The Great Worm.
the dragon talisman to Kriv. Perhaps he will have knowledge on the subject. Perhaps this was his first fight encounter with. Perhaps he succumbed to it, but somehow maintained a level of self or awareness
So the
in
question
this
there,
plane where he can still fight.
the question there would be: would this be a reawakened uprising, since this was the second, or just another
Right.
failed?
Or is it just the elven ale of the months? I understand.
There's another one, 800 years in the past, that is referenced as the Monastery Massacre. It's happened at a monastery of peace and balance.
The alliteration of that is fun and funky, but kind of in a horrible way.
How long ago was this?
About 800 years ago, back when Narina, which was the revered leader of the order at the time, I'm not sure if it's going to say whether or not she died there or not, but
So 1500 years ago was the first one.
Right.
First.
You can roll history checks real quick.
Okay.
Is there anything in the book that says anything storyline critical that says what happened to Narina, or can I just like?
Don't even worry about it. 7. Don't even worry about it.
All right.
10, and I was with a +5 on my history.
Well, I guess the question would be: is it well known what happened to her, or can I just reference what may have been rumors?
So that particular part of it is fairly well known. Even though she was the head of this order, she's rumored to have been having an affair with a knight.
Oh,
at the time that, and she was nowhere to be found when the actual attack happened.
We know this because of the
that's our Vaelin.
right. We met Leandros, right? That was
Leandros, yes.
That's the story of Narina and Leandros, right?
Yeah, Leandros. Yes, Leandros was actually in love with Narina.
Okay.
And
So that's the
he
affair.
regained his paladinhood by helping you all to restore the temple.
Right.
And when he convinced Narina that everything was fixed, he ascended, but she did not.
Oh,
She's still stuck.
Yeah.
But this is the one that, to me, was the most immediately interesting, because of all these records, it was the only one that was said that resulted in the seemingly overnight destruction of the impacted area.
The Monastery Massacre.
The Monastery Massacre. So it kind of begs the question: was there something important being protected at this monastery? Was there a seal that was being protected there, or was it broken when this incident happened? What was the significance of the monastery?
Was it a doorway, perhaps?
Potentially, because with the last incident we have is 300 years ago, which was in the Elvish region. It's happened deep in Elven territory. There's not a lot of records and information here in these books. The elves refuse to speak of it, apparently. Morathil, who...
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Morathil is listed in here as who may have been around when this incident took place.
Oh my god.
Serenity and...
My sister from another mister.
Morita.
From another mister.
She's written up in the book you read, you say?
She's referenced in the book, not as a direct relation to the incident, but seeing how recent this was and how long elves tend to live, she may have been alive when this happened.
Merrid, do you recall Morifil telling you when she became undead? How long ago that was?
I remember the story well.
I remember the story.
I don't remember the time frame.
Me either.
Morithil is undead?
Well...
not to like spread my girl's business like that, Vaelin, but yeah.
Yes.
She's undead.
Well,
in a cool way.
Serenity's not quite, if you will.
How do you know this person?
And we kind of look at each other like, do we want to give this person? It's not all that well.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the. I'm gonna speak from only my perspective because it doesn't. I feel like it gives enough information without, kind of giving everything. Marito was a member of the party before I showed up. She and I shared the undead facet. We also kind of shared the experience of our people. Horrible thing happening, and my people just disappeared, but her people, it was a massacre.
And when was this?
How long have I been with the party at this point?
Clarification. When was this?
A few months at this point.
That's what we're saying.
That's what we're trying to figure out, because the
sure
massacre is what was the initiating point of her turning undead. She woke up one day, basically, after an experience with some people who attacked.
She was attacked.
Yeah, and that's actually where she got her name from. She was named something else beforehand, but when she became undead, they renamed her to Morrethil, which kind of translates to Morrethil.
Was it Flower of the Moon or like Flower of the
Hey,
Moon?
what's up, y'all? Okay, I was wondering if that was you. Cool, you made it. All right.
I have.
Good.
I'm sorry, guys.
You are good.
No problem. We got you.
Vance, I will tell you this, and this alone about Morrethil. If you ever encounter her, say the names of Serenity and Merrid
And Cale.
and you have the highest likelihood of surviving the encounter.
Yeah.
She is equal parts deadly, terrifying, and beautiful.
She's fun and scary. She's not scary. She's fun and scary. You know what I mean?
She gained that name after turning undead.
Her name changed. It was one name first, and it's the prefix that changed.
Mm-hmm.
It changed from, and I can't remember it. I've talked with Kevin about it, but it was something. It began with a D, like Dorithil or something.
Mm-hmm.
Of that. Yeah. It changed to Morrethil, and I think this is an actual language that Kevin
it's part of.
knows.
I think it was
not her choice to change. It was not her choice to change her name. It was changed in basically a very disrespectful sort of way to other her.
And the thing that you all would be most likely to remember is that she followed Yanalin, who was one of her people, to that monastery where you found her. And Yanalin disappeared. All right? So let me catch... do you want to finish this real quick?
A little bit.
Go ahead.
Because what you just told me is important. Is her name changing? Because this book
not really
references that changed name.
Well, it says that she was there, so. But her name changing is not all.
I mean, it does. I mean, I guess in a way that does kind of lay out the timeline a little bit more.
Yeah,
because the name change is in the book that you're reading.
Right.
Therefore, this book would have been written after her
transformation.
It's been written. It's a pretty big book, but it was written within the last. It had to be written with the last 100 to 200 years. It's fairly old.
Okay. So it would have been written relatively recently after that event, anyways.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So each uprising, occasionally, or approximately every 400 years.
Yeah.
The locations are apparently incredibly diverse.
But this now brings up a bigger question for me, because what happened to my people happened very recently, like within the last year. And
which
therefore
would fit the timeline.
Okay.
Because
it does feel like a little bit sped up, doesn't it, though? Like 300 to 400 years shortened to 100,
especially
maybe?
if the first couple were 500 years apart. So is this some sort of cycle?
And at this point, Cale, you and Peter walk out of your part of the library, having basically gleaned that the way to kill a kraken is to cross your fingers and hope you can breathe underwater.
Poke it in the eyeball.
Basically, go
I
ahead.
can breathe underwater just fine. This is not a problem for me.
And Peter looks at, well, oh, if I can get that book, maybe I can. The key is in that book, or getting that. Oh, I have to have that book. I have to have that book. And he kind of, he just starts walking around the central part of the library, just in a circle, and he's just tearing it up, looking for books. Oh, I'm sorry, I could get rid of that. But you walk out in the middle of all of this. You hear them discussing the various undead uprisings that have happened, and they have 4 of them. And this most recent one, it would appear, is currently happening in some sort of reaction to what has happened to Peter's mother. Now, when you were in the Sweat Lodge, what do you remember from the Sweat Lodge?
I remember the giant battle that I got sucked into because apparently that was tripping balls in there.
Yes, tripping balls.
Right.
The actual spiritual terminology there.
Yeah. I was having a moment. No, I mean, I remember basically what I remember is, talking to his dad, my dad, and figuring out, like, basically what we needed to do, like what we, how, kind of planning it out. And then while we were talking about that, I got sucked into the dream world.
Okay. And before that, when Connell finally revealed to you the truth of the Servid Eye, what do you remember of that? You want to roll a history check, and I'll remind you if you
Yeah.
roll a history check. Okay, go ahead, roll a history check.
18!
18 is good.
You're gonna tell me all your secrets now.
Well, I mean, it's one of the things that you must have heard it through the door just a little bit. That Vaelin was talking about the first instance of this happening, and it was your great grandmother. So it's possible that you are descended from whatever happened then between Asha and it would have been Lavina. No, Lavina is your mother. What is her name? I have her name. It was the first one. Oh, she was the original Suriel. She was the original Suriel. And from what Peter said, he's possibly a descendant of, a literal direct descendant of Asha through his mother. So all of this is that's the basic thing that you remember from all this as you walk into the conversation.
Does that maybe make Peter the Antichrist?
Wait, okay. I'm so sorry. So what you're saying is that we both may be descended from that.
It's possible.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Which could run the question of, like, are we all descended from this? Are we
I mean, I don't know if I am descended from this because Ashok, I mean, unless he's like, not to be weird about it, but unless Ashok is cool with incestuous relationships, I feel like he more or less was trying to get his foot in the door with the primordial attachment that I have.
And at this point, the little library robots are coming around. Library's closing. 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes.
Okay.
Are you done with the book? Are you done with the book?
Yes, I'm done with this book.
Okay. He picks up the book. He takes it. And,
Just so that everyone is aware, I am going to be coming back here tomorrow to meet with the acolytes who have promised me that they would retrieve information for me. So let's stay close by if we can.
I'm okay with this.
This is beneficial.
I believe that
Priestess, anyways.
we will be able to stay here. The priestesses have offered us to stay here on the property at the temple for the evening.
Lovely.
Okay. And so I would get the robot.
We just got
very quickly. I need any book that you have on Ashok himself. Is there anybody who has done research on him?
And he tells you that is secret information. It's hidden.
This is why we were here. We were told we would get the information we asked. That came straight from the High Priestess.
Can I help
Get
him?
the book.
Can I help him roll a persuasion check, potentially?
Okay, sure. Go ahead. Roll persuasion.
Can I intimidate a?
I'm giving you the help action to
Can
roll.
I intimidate a robot?
I don't know. Can you?
Roll with advantage.
I'm 28. I have a +8 on intimidation, and I rolled a nat 20.
What if it's just an immune to intimidation?
Damn.
No. He doesn't have a whole lot of emotion, but
Merrid would start to growl, and you would see the blue glow from his mouth. The frost coming. Your circuits work well if they're frozen.
okay. And what he says is, they will tear me apart and rebuild me. So,
I'll tell you part not
no, I cannot give that information.
Okay. Then tell me where it is, and I'll get it myself.
We do have only 5 minutes left, so. Check out. I don't want to
So
Is this a hand of fate?
I mean, I know I can't, but I'm never going.
If you get rid of
So-
the library, I think you'll never be able to do it.
he tells you basically a riddle that it's behind a facade of what you're really looking for.
Oh my god. Oh my.
Behind the facade of what I'm really looking for.
Basically, a little more eloquent than that. It's behind a facade.
We're coming back tomorrow. So maybe.
We'll have plenty of time to look.
Yeah.
A metaphorical facade?
Well,
Or just literally behind a facade?
I mean, it's a robot, so I think that it might literally be.
Behind a stone brick?
Yeah, exactly. Or like behind a facade face. Like the face of something.
Merrid, frustrating, would just a little bit of his frost dragon breath on the arm of one of it and just snap it off like a twig. And
Merrid!
Okay, roll initiative.
No!
that's a 20. I can't roll any but 20s right now.
Oh my freaking god. That's gonna be a 13.
Alright, did anybody roll over 20?
Actually,
Are we really fighting these fucking things? Like, okay.
sorry. I got a 21. Yes.
No. Hopefully not.
Holy shit! I rolled a 19 initiative.
Anybody roll 15 to 20?
Highest you've ever gotten an initiative.
That is legitimately the best roll I've ever had.
Okay, so Cale, you're number 2. 10 to 15.
10 to 15. I got 13. Sorry.
Okay, there you go. 5 to 10. Is that me? And then number 6.
I kind of feel like I apologize here.
What's not a thing to do with what's going on?
Just sitting out reading a history book.
Oh, so Merrid, you hear, and you all see all the doors open, and you see
We're never coming back here, guys.
these little things from all these other rooms come out of their doors and begin looking around.
I would like to say everybody came for me when I was a little impulsive.
Serenity was there. Peter is walking around the lobby. He's going to be here. Cale had joined the group in the center. Emotional. We need Vaelin in there.
Okay.
The same dice as me.
What would I? Oh, these.
Yeah. I have several more. If you need any.
All right, there we go. All right. So, what would you like to do?
Had a long rest, haven't we?
No.
Yeah. I don't have any 3rd levels. No, luckily I have 4.
What would you like to do?
Okay, where are they?
All of those little platoons, and these things they're fairly small.
Can I plead with everybody? Please don't do anything violent. I have an idea.
What'd you like to do?
I got them.
You heard that. What? But I'll leave that to you.
Please don't do anything violent. I have an idea that might
Don't do anything stupid.
I'm gonna look at
You just
this.
asked a pissed off dragon not to do some stupid shit.
I know. Just, I'm not saying what to do. Just hold off on the violence until maybe we see if this thing potentially works.
Okay, Serenity.
Okay.
Then I would hold. I would grab my staff of frost, and prepare to cast wall of ice as a reaction.
Okay. So you're preparing wall of ice. Number 2, that is Cale. What are you doing?
I am just gonna try and kind of throw my hands up, like wait, like Deadpool style. Stop! Hold on. We're really sorry about our big dragon friend here. He didn't mean it. I really am sorry, guys. Like, we'll be going now if you'll let us.
Okay. Number 3.
It's gonna be me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to cast using my Wellspring of Clarity. How far away? How far away are all of these things?
They're right there.
Okay. Are they within 20 feet of me?
Sure.
Okay. Cute.
They should be.
I'm casting Calm Emotions with the Wellspring of Clarity.
On machines? Sorry.
Please. I'm trying to see if this works. Okay.
So, is it centered on you, or
It's centered on a point I choose.
all right, go ahead. Center it. Where shall I center it?
It's look me, Jesus. Right, dead center.
Dead center. There you go.
All right. And this is gonna hit literally everybody, including my party members, and I'm cool with that. So I'm hitting everybody with Calm Emotions. It is going to be a DC 17 Charisma saving throw from everybody.
All right.
So,
I'm hoping to fail this.
including my party members.
You're hoping to fail it.
I hit it too. I've been calm.
So then I can switch dice because this is rolling me 20s. Okay.
You know what?
Choose to fail a lot of these?
You can.
You can't.
Hey man, you've sucked the luck out of that die. Go ahead and use it again.
Okay. No, I don't trust it. It's literally already rolled me.
You started this. You forced the ball. Literally.
Okay, so it's only a 16.
All right. And what's the save?
17.
All right.
Oh wow.
Wow. So,
That was close.
a creature can choose to fail the saving throw if it wishes. If the creature fails the saving throw, choose one of the two effects. You can suppress any effect, causing a target to be charmed or frightened when the spell ends. Alternatively, you can make the... So, basically, if you fail, you have no inclination to be hostile.
I was just reading a history book. I was not hostile in the first place.
Well, I know. How did things...
So then,
She's okay.
Exactly.
She scratches herself too hard sometimes.
so Merrid with his staff of frost, his other hand glowing blue, and his mouth slightly agape with also another frosty blue glow. Nostrils flared with all of a sudden. Nostrils go down, blue starts to subside. He puts the frost down and
The one that you messed with the arm, it goes down with its other arm and picks it up. But the other, however many of them there are, they all look straight at you, and this little metal eyebrow goes up like this, and they all simultaneously go, in your direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
are they shushing me or
I need
with something?
6 wisdom saving throws.
6?
Just him or all of us?
Just him.
Okay.
I have to roll
6 wisdom saving throws.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Wisdom. Oh, it's one of the big ones.
I'm going to turn to Cale.
Oh, wait. I have a +0 modifier. Yay.
I'm going to turn to Cale.
Alright, let's just do it. Let's roll 6 in one shot. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. What's the save? Not going to tell me yet? Okay, I'm down with that.
So,
Oh, FML.
Brand.
I got a 20. I got 2 3s, a 4, an 11, and a 14.
And some of them you're just like, but there are 4 of them. These must be those old bitty librarian ones, because they hit you hard. Your brain is just like, and you take a total of 24 psychic damage, and you calm your ass down a little bit. You know, it's already calm, but you're like, okay. Now, you know you failed, so you have no inclination. But my player versus player thing, you know my rule on that. If you wish to, you can say, no, I'm going to do it.
Do what?
Number you had prepared, you had
Right. We did
to do your
Oh, well, yeah.
Hey, it's up to you. All they did was shush you, and it hurt your brain so much, you're a little bit dizzy.
Okay.
To the tune of 24 hit points.
Okay, this is
I'll make my decision when it's my turn.
Okay, but this...
So no, you lose your action if you don't do it now.
I would like to say that this Calm Emotions is a concentration spell of up to a minute, and you don't get a save, you don't get to save until I drop concentration.
No, I'll... Merrid would drop the staff of frost completely.
All right, good.
And... I apologize. As he's holding his head, I don't know what came over me. I feel I need to recenter myself. May I go and meditate in the temple?
And then I'll point to one little place, and there's a little chair over in the corner. And they
Go sit in the corner.
Start to go back up.
They're done
What are you doing?
just gonna get off this book and turn to leave.
It is time to go, technically. I mean, that 5 minutes is definitely up.
Fuck. Yeah, Merrid goes and sits in the corner.
And they all go back to their little rooms, and you can hear as they're putting away their books. There's not a sound in the library. Everybody has left. And eventually the one whose arm you ripped off goes over, taps you on the shoulder, and points to the exit.
With its one working arm.
Serenity is going to be standing outside of the exit. So, I believe, and I say this with so much understanding and love in my heart, Merrid, we cannot do things willy-nilly. As you recall, when I did things willy-nilly and I damn near died.
And he would whip around, damn near got me killed too. He would put it, no. I would put my hand on, like I want to push you into the wall, and I would walk off to, I need to recenter myself. Nothing more from you, little one.
All right, so there you do have. Okay, so you have not arranged to spend the evening here. You were going to stay in the tavern.
Where we stayed the night before?
Where you stayed the night before. You have not spoken with anybody here.
We went straight to the library.
Okay. But you have been told, for some of the services that you've done, that you do have the option of respite here, if you wish. It is
Do we still have that option?
Yes, it's slightly before dusk. Yeah, people always try and steal things from the library, but very rarely does the violence happen and get out of hand. The librarians are pretty good at it. You know, those old bitty librarians, they're good. They know what they're doing. That eyebrow.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yes, you could stay here. It is, the sun has not gone down. It's like, you know, as you look off to the horizon, it's still fully above the horizon. You can see out of there. If you wished, you could go out and search around a little bit more, or you could, in theory, try and seek out Bunifer, the High Priestess. Now, if she's still available, that would be the question.
I mean, I think it makes sense. She's expecting us in 2 days, though?
Mm-hmm.
When
She has not been informed of anything
Right.
yet.
I thought
do you want to?
the little robot that I had spoken to earlier said that it was going to notify her to expect us.
Yeah. They definitely will. It's a matter of how long.
But maybe we just see her walk around.
I mean, we might as well look.
Yeah. I'd like to kind of sit in the temple, and are there places where I can
So
pray?
this is more of a traditional temple like you would see. Of course, there are nothing of what we would consider like pews or anything like that, because it's a standing thing. Unlike some temples where, you know, there's all this flagellation and this and that and the other, the places of the highest worship that you notice are more like these small cubicles where you are cut off from everything else.
To focus.
So that you focus on what you're trying to seek out.
I'm going to indulge. I'm going to...
Go ahead and, just for kicks, roll a percentile die.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Percentile die?
Oh, no, I'm asking you what you're doing.
I would go...
You have maybe 2-3 hours before...
I would go and attempt to meditate.
That's gonna be
I would start to do the forms, and then feelings of failure for Morito would come back into my mind, and I would lose my concentration, and I would begin my breathing again, and then start doing the forms and realize that I can't concentrate on this right now. I would leave the temple.
Okay, going out of
I
the
need
temple.
to take a walk.
89%.
All right, 89 percentile, just out of your vision. There is something that is just outside of your vision. Maybe it's the events from earlier that are keeping you from being able to access it.
Actually focus.
Vaelin?
I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing right now.
Cale, do you know what you want to do? Give him a little second to he knows less about this particular area than you.
I think I would just go over to Merrid and just kind of, I don't know, I'd just make sure he's all right.
So you and Merrid are outside. I will deal with you in a second.
Absolutely.
1, 2, 3. Peter goes with you. 4, 5, 6. He stays here. Peter's tagging along.
Cool.
Okay.
I think I'm just going to take this opportunity of a little downtime to explore the area of which I'm at, because I'm not familiar with this.
Inside the temple, or just the immediate area?
The immediate surroundings of the temple.
All right. Okay, so let me start with you. The immediate surroundings of the temple, very well kept grounds, and you see a lot of very geometric shapes. And as you look at these shapes, they have an odd effect on you. You would almost think that it was magical, but it's more just that they are so predictable that you stop worrying about where you're headed to, because you know exactly how to get back to the front. It's almost as if it guides you, and you begin to ponder all sorts of a lot of the stuff that you read earlier today with a clearer head. Roll a history check.
This die sucks. 8. I'm not using that die.
You can tell that the one thing you can tell is that you've figured out a lot. What's not clear is it's like there's one piece of the puzzle that's missing. Now, you two plus Peter, you head out.
Real quick. So the night before, Serenity went out on her
Excursion.
excursion.
Let's call it.
Did she tell us about that?
Well, Cale came and got me.
Well, did she tell us about that before they burst into our door?
Yeah,
Our window, and we fought.
Works for me.
You did?
Well, I definitely would have. Were you asleep though? As the
I was asleep, yes.
So
Pretending to be asleep at a moment.
I would have given.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have tried to withhold that information. Like if you asked
Okay.
a question,
Well, I wanted to see if my character was aware that at dusk you alone
experience
were targeted.
ambush. Yeah.
So I would realize, even though I'm upset, that I only have a finite amount of time and I want to be able to get indoors before the sun sets.
Okay.
How far away is the temple from the water?
It's about an hour's walk. So you could take an hour to get there, spend an hour, and an hour back.
That's what I would do.
Okay. All right. So that's what you're doing. Cale, just sort of following along then, or anything
Yeah,
in particular?
Just kind of hanging out.
All right. Very good. Peter's just going to do that. Can I have you two roll history checks as you walk out as well? Out of the corner of your eye, you see some of these designs.
Okay.
18.
History. I got no good history buff. I got a 16.
All right. After all the conversation of today, Cale, what you remember from that first time you, Connalt, your father, spoke of this quote unquote curse, this ancestral thing, you remember that he said to you that the 4 maidens were not able to vanquish Ashok, but they're the ones who actually imprisoned him where he is now.
The 4. Say that one more time for me.
There are 5 maidens by what
maidens.
to
Maidens.
be
What you're
a
saying.
portal. Okay, let me talk a little bit quieter because my voice comes through better when I talk quieter. When there were 4 maidens, all they could do was imprison him in that small domain, which it would appear from everything that you've seen and what Merrid has seen is fine, but he's there. The thought is, that now that there are 5 with Peter's mother, it's possible you could visit him and actually vanquish him if you could get through to him.
So the idea is that with 4, he couldn't pierce that veil. With 5, he's allowed to pierce it. But because he can pierce it, so can we.
Other way around. They weren't able to kill him. He can't get out of there yet. His influence must only come through those gems.
But with only 4, all they could do was imprison him. There's no way to actually,
Go back and forth.
Correct.
Got you.
They could not actually
Got it.
take him out of existence. It's possible, now that there are 5, you could go to him and take him out.
Cool. I like that.
All right. So you head down towards the water, and the only thing of note, there are 5 amongst the riffraff. There are 5 knights. They're not on horses. They're just knights, and they're sort of directing traffic. They're trying. It's time to be inside. You know how it goes around here. There's too many undead. Various ones of them say, "Get inside. See, the sun is going down." And they seem to be really trying to focus these people on where they need to be. If you both want to roll a perception check, and I will roll one for Peter.
22.
13.
Just good enough. You don't see anyone really disobeying these orders. They're pretty much following them. And once they've gotten everybody inside, which is starting to get dark here, you'll have just enough time. You can have a short conversation with these guys, and then you'll probably need to start heading back. But you could maybe have a little 5-minute conversation with them if you wished to. And they're actually kind of looking around now, and you get the feeling they're on guard. One of them, Cale, appears to be exceptionally on guard, if there is such a thing. Okay?
So I would I think I would go up to him and ask, how long has this been going on?
It's been something like 5, 6, maybe 7 months. Problem is, it keeps getting worse and worse.
And this is
more
my
and
question.
more.
Is that about the time from when we got off the island? Is that
it's a little bit before when you got off the island.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What it seems like things have gotten significantly worse since the last time I was here. Have you noticed anything?
Roll persuasion check.
Oh shit, that was performance. Wrong one. I mean, it's the same roll. 13.
Right.
They're both the same.
he said, maybe, maybe not. What does it mean to you?
My friends and I are simply trying to figure out, hopefully, some way to help with everything. These undead, they've even affected my tribal lands up to the north.
And how would you help?
Ideally, find the cause of all of this and unalive it.
He kind of laughs at that. You're going to unalive the unalive. Okay. I think you need a better plan, but at least maybe you're more willing to help than the others. Meet me tomorrow morning, and I can show you something. And he leans forward to you. He says, by the way, I don't trust the other four. And then he just sort of stands back, and he goes back to his guarding, and you all can make your way back to the temple for the evening, unless you have one last question.
I think
I would talk with Cale on the walk back.
Okay, you all make it back, and now you are again. It's a common room. This is literally acolyte style living. There are bunks. There is no privacy. If you want to put up a little sheet somewhere, feel free. But other than that, that's right, Rose. That's right, Rose. Very good. You're all sleeping in one small sort of common room, and you have time to discuss your plans for tomorrow.
So I'd go to the bed that's closest to the door real quick before. I know you want to talk. Wait, no, let's walk back and have that talk.
Okay. All right. So you all make it back.
The first thing I want to do is I want to turn to Merrid, and I want to say, I'm sorry if I put you on the spot earlier. I know that I'm having to reanalyze the way that I'm coming about this whole thing because of my own frustrations with not really having answers. And so I just want to apologize because it came from a place of understanding where you're coming from and trying to do better, but I can't do that vicariously through you.
I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate it. But young one, have you ever felt responsible for somebody other than yourself?
Yeah.
And that their failings are your failings?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the priestesshood's entire thing. Once you become a high priestess in my culture, that's kind of like you end up being the role model, the spokesperson, the template, even if you don't necessarily think that.
But you had not ascended to this position yet.
Well,
right?
no, but I had lived my whole life
moving towards it. See, when I began my path with Saraswati, I heard directly from her voice that I was to watch over and help guide Morizel. And now, I don't know where she is. I don't know if she still lives.
I know. Sorry. I want you to.
She was a friend, and more than that, she understood what it's like to be an outcast.
She did.
What it meant to be misunderstood. As a dragonborn, we're feared and mocked and shunned all at the same time.
And that's doubly so for you because your family also, the magic thing is kind of
yes
something that ostracizes you.
I could not understand it. I got it not through my choice or my studies, but through my bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
I did not choose this, but everyone in my family shunned me for it. I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't willing to fight and claw.
Can I suggest one thing, Merrid? Changing the dialogue, because you did not fail. You were strong enough. I think that
No.
your strength.
One day I will be. I will be.
I think that they are scared of what lies inside of them, and it takes a very strong person to even open the door. And you did that. And vulnerability is not a weakness. I hope. Because I have to keep telling myself that because your girl feels quite vulnerable these days. Quite indeed.
But I still have quite the headache from those bookkeepers.
It was a little excessive. It was a little excessive.
I think I'm going to find the headmistress and retire. But
So,
thank you for the kind words.
Cale, Vaelin, Peter, what are you all doing to get ready for the evening? Y'all planning on having watches? Yay, nay?
We're definitely going to do watches, but I think before we crash out, I would just kind of check in with Vaelin. I haven't really got a whole lot of time to...
Okay. I'll let you all have at it.
How are you holding up for it?
I'm holding up well. This is just turned into every time I tug at any string of information, it unravels a whole new batch of strings that all are clamoring to be tugged at the same time. And it's a little overwhelming on trying to get all the information that I want.
I can understand that. It seems like every time we solve one problem, 3 more tend to pop up in front of us. Some of them we start ourselves. It's great. We were solving a problem and found another one, kind of looking over at Merrid.
I would just wave you off.
No, I understand. I understand the predicament. Seems we have a lot to learn.
All right. So, what are the watches? Just for the purpose of having watches.
I'll take
We're gonna clearly place your first. Okay.
I'll do second.
Second.
Oh, yeah.
I want to take last watch.
Okay.
Throw me in, Chief. I don't care where.
All right. You can be 3. Peter will sleep throughout the night. He probably needs to. All right. Fairly. This is a very quiet monastery. A very quiet temple. Their sleep is very important to them, but I do need everyone to go ahead and roll a percentile die as you sleep. Your dreams are exceptionally calm.
So this is one of these guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is
You roll a 10. You roll. Yeah, you can do it one of 2 ways. You do one of these, and one of the ones that just has one single number, and you just put them in order. Or you can roll two of them and call one of them first. 2 different colored ones.
I rolled the percentile, the D100, and I got a 1.
Okay.
I got a 97.
Okay.
One of us rolled really well. I don't know how these work, so...
76.
I got a 00 and a 9.
So you got a 9.
I got a 9. Okay.
Yep.
Usually 0 is good.
So your dream is a very calm dream. And what's interesting is it reveals some information to you more about the nature. You see somebody that you know to be Narina, and then you see the gem passing to a a man, which you're kind of like, wait a minute, what?
Mm-hmm.
And then the gem passes to a woman.
Narina's gem was the
Is the aquamarine.
okay.
It's the one that
It's the one that I have.
you currently have. So it goes through one of those, and it's one of those things where, as you watch it go from Narina to a man to a small set of people that share it to a woman to two men to all these various things. What you begin to realize is that the family, in the case, the line of ancestry with this gem is actually through the monastery itself. And the monastery appears to be picking who the next person is
So rather than
that will have it.
So rather than blood lineage, it is passed through the spiritual, the monastery's priesthood. Okay.
And other than that, not a whole lot happens. You wake. And as you wake, a portal, a black hole opens up.
Oh.
And a dragonborn person that you recognize steps through.
Son of a bitch.
My master sends his greetings. If you wish, you can come talk to him. Otherwise, here is my promise.
And I would rise and Norcruz. It is good to see you again. And I'm glad that my faith in you was well put. And I would reach out and take the dragon talisman, put it back around my neck.
Okay, in an hour you attuned to it again. You cannot have both on at the same time.
Okay.
So the red one has to go to somebody else to wear. Or you can hold it, or you can put it in the bag.
Yeah, I'll just put it in a bag.
Okay. It's fine, you put it in a bag. All right, very good. It is the next morning. You've had that. Norcruz is still there.
Yeah, I would ask him. I don't get the opportunity to talk with many Dragonborn. Will you eat and break bread with us?
Okay. It says, unfortunately, I have many masters to serve, so I must be on my way. But if you would like to say anything,
is there any way I would get a hold of you?
Once.
Out of curiosity, what color dragonborn is this?
He's black, isn't he?
No.
It's
Kriv
is black.
looks to be a black dragon.
Yeah.
He has multiple colored scales all over him.
Interesting.
You two, actually, Cale, Serenity, and Vaelin can all roll insight checks with this on this guy.
Okay.
Insights.
That's gonna be.
It's candy.
That's gonna be a 17.
Am I doing pink or blue?
Blue. Black.
Blue.
Black. Ooh.
15.
All right. Cale, what did you roll?
The D20?
Yeah, an insight check.
Insight check.
Did you just roll it? Oh, there you go. We know what you rolled.
It was either a 10 or my insight's technically a 22. The regular D20 was a 2.
Oh, okay.
So you want to give me a 10? You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Cool.
Oh, that's cool how it does that.
This guy is obviously otherworldly. It would look like he has many forms. Probably the difficulty with him is going to be utter neutrality.
Got you. And partiality to a fault, sort of thing. Okay. Annoying. And
How do I contact you? One time.
And he says, "Say my name. Say my name into the
It's
chat."
like the neutrality planet.
yes.
We have no strong opinions one way or the other.
Oh my god.
You would understand. All right. In any case, since you all, it doesn't seem that anybody would like to. He steps back through the hole and at the portal, and it closes behind him. So let me come around real quick.
And that invitation was only extended to you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No. He came through. You all heard it.
Yeah, but was he speaking directly to?
Oh my god. But the neutrality thing.
What would you? Okay. Let me rewind. What would you like to do?
I'm just trying to understand. Was he speaking directly to?
He was speaking directly to him,
Okay.
but you heard it.
Okay.
Totally up to you what you do with it.
I am not doing anything with that then.
Mm-mm.
Was he speaking Draconic or Common?
He would be speaking Draconic.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the other part of it.
Okay.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
All right. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, Vaelin, what would you like to do today? I will. It's random who gets to go first and say what they're doing.
So now, this is the very next day after we
Yes.
first hit the library.
You finished a long rest. Very restful long rest.
So after he vandalized the library, it's now the next day.
Your first
I didn't vandalize the library.
He vandalized the
My
library.
brain was vandalized by the freaking librarians.
Yeah, it was a mind fuck. Okay.
That's on the spell card.
So your next check or save is with advantage. Just keep that in your head. That's how well you rested.
Oh wow.
Everybody.
Oh, okay. Cute.
So, well, now I actually want to make the effort to go find this priestess.
Okay.
Because that, like, if she was told, hey, expect them within the next day or two, I don't want to just go and hunt her down that very next day.
Very good. Peter he's just gonna pull out his little thing that he's doing, trying to get more of those things ready to go. Unless somebody tells him to go elsewhere.
I want to look at Cale and ask Cale if he wants to go after breakfast, go talk with that knight.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like that is where we should be right now.
Okay. I'm going to bright and early make my way back over to the library and wait for those acolytes.
All right, very good. So you make your way back to the acolytes. All right, so here we go. Let's go in order.
Keep going back to round 2.
So after a certain amount of time, this woman with with light brown skin comes out. What's interesting about her versus everybody else here, her clothing is very loose, and you notice it's kind of, some of it's kind of see-through. It's gauze-like in nature, but it's also not like one whole piece of fabric. It's like several different pieces of fabric. And what you notice is that all the way up to the very bottom of her neck, that's the only place where you can actually see it all. She has what would appear to be henna tattoos from here all the way down to her ankles. And as you watch, they're moving.
Dope.
That's very cool.
That is very
And she comes through. She says, "I understand you seek the knowledge of Allah. What is it that I can help you with?"
I know it's the honest, just clear my throat. I'm just like, I can't wait to see what happens here.
So I thought you were just implying.
No, this is cool.
Okay, so I will admit that I'm just a little taken aback that this is not who I envisioned when I was thinking about the priestess that overlooked the. Does she overlook the library itself, or is it just in general? She like a high priestess.
She is the high priestess of Augment, which would mean to you, if there's knowledge to be had, she has it, one way or another.
Okay. And I am fortunate enough to have an audience with her right now. Holy crap. Okay. So I'm going to
Fanboy.
I'm going to attempt to be as to the point as possible, as though I'm speaking to a friend, someone who I've known for a very long time. Basically, a very deliberate avoidance of the formalities that are likely constantly thrown at her. I want to speak very cleanly.
And your informality causes her to move a portion of her gown to the side, and she reveals just this part of her breast, and she said, and she just basically indicates here, ask what it is you.
Okay.
Is that when the 70s funk starts to kick in?
So
a shag carpet rolls out.
we joke here, but Vaelin himself is not. Vaelin himself, he'll joke and he'll play around with the, he's a very loosey goosey, carefree guy. But I'm also completely unfazed by any, I am not one to be tempted by flesh type thing. I have an actual inquisitive mindset when it comes to what is it exactly that is being used or shown here. Not from a...
It's an inquisitive base.
Very much what...
I want to see your titty.
And she said,
it's a titty.
and she's got some cool... What she says is... You
I really need to see that.
What she says is knowledge shared between two people is very intimate. So this is where your question must be answered.
Okay. Back in the actual... Vaelin is being very casual but serious in this conversation. I'm not implying anything during this conversation. I am actually going to very much ask for her understanding of the ebbs and flows of this undead plague that has been recurring at what seems to be a increased rate generations after generations of the last 1,500 years.
And you watch, she sort of goes through it, and the tattoos sort of reshape themselves to help illustrate some of this as she's going on. And she goes, first there was the Surya, the first, who was taken from the tribes of the north.
Taken?
Lured from the tribes of the north.
Oh, the first Surya.
From there, Ashok moved to a dragon that he loved best, Kenocha.
Okay.
What's the name of that?
Kenocha. A black dragon, the queen of all black dragons.
Wait, how old
The mother crib.
How old is Ashok? Because that one was...
Pretty much ancient.
That one was 1,100 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And lured her. He lured her away with a pearl. So he lured Surya away with an emerald.
Surya is
the first one.
Can you spell that real quick?
Suriel. and lured Kenosha away with a pearl.
An emerald.
Okay.
Pearl.
Then he found his way to a monastery. That satisfied him for a while. Then he found his way to a monastery where he embarked on a totally new journey, looking to destroy the tranquility of the monastery by infecting its most high order with an aquamarine that would give them tranquility at the expense of their ability to communicate. From there, he went to the elves of the north. The elves were immune to his charms, so he had no choice but to attempt to turn them all to his own will, one at a time. Many succumbed. Some went underground. You know them as the Dark Elves these days.
Drow.
But one, he eventually was able to lure with the Caldachon. This one, I do not know about. She's
I'm sorry. He, for the elf one.
Okay.
Can you repeat that last part?
He was able to get to charm one of them with the Caldachon.
What is that called? How do you spell it?
Caldochan, and it's just it's an uncut gem. Instead of cutting it, it's like you put it in a rock tumbler, and it just happens to come out in the shape of like a drop of blood or a teardrop or something like that. So it's very pendant-like.
Who did he charm?
An elf named Grania.
Who is he speaking to? Is he speaking to Myrna right now?
No, Bunifer.
How do you spell her name?
Bunnefer. It's actually the umlaut U, if that matters to you, but it's Bunifer. She has sort of an Egyptian. We would know her as being Egyptian. And then he says the most recent one was the most violent. He kidnapped her from her husband. And as I understand, her and her child have been on the run for 5 years.
Oh my God, I'm not there.
Kidnapped from the husband?
The husband is her. This is the only thing that she doesn't know. He's royalty. And he has a whole army behind him.
So Ashok kidnapped who?
He kidnapped Evelina. So she was the queen at the time. Kidnapped her. She was actually his betrothed. They hadn't gotten married yet.
Betrothed of who?
No, they had to be. They were married because Peter was 6 years old when it happened. Okay. He kidnapped Evelina. She's the only one who didn't succumb before all of this happened. He kidnapped her, and she just asked that Peter be brought with them. She took Peter with them.
Okay, so Ashok kidnapped Evelina, the
and
queen,
Peter.
and Peter.
Yes. So that puts that one to rest.
Who did not succumb to Ashok's will.
Yes. So basically, he forced the gem on her.
Damn.
Okay.
He's getting antsy. He's making mistakes.
This also explains part of this pattern where I was. I guess I'll have this conversation with them later.
All right. So you all go and visit the knights, and
That's a big.
so one of them said that the ones you're having a nice conversation. Oh, you are back, my friends. Meet my two friends from last night. And he introduces them, tells you all their names. So, how was your evening in the temple? He asks.
Most peaceful night we have had here.
Oh, absolutely. I understand the temple is great for your concentration. It helps you to figure things out. And he said, and he looks very pointedly at the two of you. Did either of you figure anything specific out?
Can I insight check this guy? Like,
Yeah.
It seems like something's off on him.
Go ahead.
Make a save. That's the order.
24.
Insight 14.
All right. This guy has all kinds of secrets. He's very.
I don't know what that was. How much is it?
He's wise beyond what a normal military man would be. Just the way that he talks
The Elvish region one.
is very important. And
I would whisper to Cale. I'd be like, I don't remember telling him we were staying at the temple.
And you get the feeling that he's either very much trying to help you figure out, and he has information that he's wanting to give you, or he's trying to milk information from you so that he can go do something. But which one, it's unclear.
Friend, let us drop the charade, okay? We all know that nobody here told you that we were staying at the temple. We know that clearly you are an intelligent man, and there is information to be exchanged between both of our parties.
And he regards his fellow knights. He says, I must admit, I followed you last night, just to make sure what you were up to.
No harm in that. I appreciate the escort walking us home. Now, what is it that you wanted to tell us or show us today?
I know the entrance to the undead hideout.
And what else is it that you haven't told us? Because clearly you are farther along in your investigation than you let on last night.
It's more than just a little gang. They're using it to lure people down there and convert them to either undead or fanatics who will then go out and preach of this undead monster.
Yes.
And
Last time we were in town, one of our party was attacked. She nearly didn't make it out, actually. It seems that they've grown much more brazen,
And
or at least been successful.
And as he's talking to you, as he tells you that, the other four knights are kind of looking at him, like this is new information.
I get the feeling that they are hearing this first time as well. If we are going to go in the lion's den, trust me and my friends here, we're more than ready and prepared to help and do our part.
He says then, oh, go ahead.
But if we are going to go into the lion's den, I'd rather know that there are lions there, not kittens.
And he says then, let us go and you can check it out for yourselves. And he turns to the other knights and he says, you all continue your regular patrols. I will be with them in the northern side of the city. Once I've shown them to that spot, I will leave them to their business.
Okay.
So,
Before we go, I'd like to go meet up. We have one more. He had some business that he needed to attend to this morning.
okay, who's that?
And talking about the Brian, the Druid. I can't remember your character's name.
Vaelin.
Vaelin. Yeah, there you go.
Vaelin's not with you.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like before we go out here, I want to go. I want to go wait for basically meet up with him, and then we can go see this spot. I don't want to split the party in.
Okay, so you want this guy to come with you to the temple?
He can wait here. We'll go get him.
Okay, he'll wait here. That's fine. All right, Serenity, you go to the.
Oh, I thought Serenity was with us. My bad.
No, Serenity did not go with you. She went to do her normal thing. So you go to the room where you were, and the priests are in there, and they have you sit down next to them and says, "We found out so much, but you've got to remind me, what is the exact question that it is that you wanted to know?" Roll a perception check.
That's going to be an 18 plus 8.
26.
Right. So, as they begin talking with you, you hear a sound on the other side of the door.
Is the door closed?
The door's closed.
Okay.
What is your question that you wanted to know?
I want to know. I want to know. I want to know if there. I want to know what happened. I want to know what happened during the ascension process. I want to know what happened to my people.
And they're like, and they say, it's very possible that your people succumbed to any one of a number of diseases. Roll a perception check again.
But there were no bodies. That's going to be a 16 plus 8.
24.
24.
And
what does the sound like?
You're starting to think about it, and it sounded like someone put a board over the door. And as that goes through your head, it begins to stink in here really bad. And you watch.
Can I roll an insight check?
As these two guys slowly transform into those things that attacked you.
And you're in the temple?
2 nights ago.
I'm in the temple library specifically.
Wow.
I'd like to interject here that this is exactly why we didn't leave the kids in this fucking temple.
Don't split the party. Don't split the party.
Technically, the party was only split 2 ways. Vaelin is just in the other room, or in the other part of the temple. Okay.
Is Peter in there with you at least?
What is this library room look like? Are there windows? How high is this?
No, there are no windows. This place is only accessible via that portal in the middle of here.
Okay.
For reference, where am I in relation
You
to
are probably at the top of this tower. It's a fairly tall building. As far as where this building is, the best you can tell, it's in a location that exists in a portal of some type.
Okay.
A totally
There's a
different
pocket dimension.
Spot. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm not going to be immediately aware that something's going on.
The words are not coming to you.
So
The first thing I need you to do is, with disadvantage, make 2 Constitution saving throws.
Okay. It's okay. My Constitution save is pretty decent. Okay.
Don't split the party. Don't split the party. That expression says it was bad.
It's natural. It is natural what it is. It is natural.
That's all. Who knew?
It is a natural. It's a naturally singular thing.
Fail.
It's one.
Crit
It's a one.
fail.
It's a one.
It's a 1.
So this time they came on you and they came upon you so surprisingly. You weren't able to block it out like you normally do with your barbarian just anger, and your body totally freezes up, and you're aware
Split the party.
as they pick you up, as they grab a hold of you, they tie you up, and they actually do their hand like this over the table, and the table has a portal inside of it.
God, you're fucking kidding me.
And you go through the portal with them. All right?
Don't be suspicious.
I will get back to you in a bit.
I mean, I would like to say, how was I supposed to know they were acolytes of this temple? I mean, I don't know.
So they looked like acolytes of the temple.
I mean,
What was the goddess of this temple again?
Agma.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck that goddess.
So you were there and you've gotten this information. What would you like to do?
you do know that I was going to do this thing.
Okay,
I told everybody.
so I think, having received this information, I think, out of character for 2 seconds, was it known that Ashok is this ancient old dude?
Yeah, he's been around a long time.
I had no fucking idea.
Yeah, he was. No, I think he was a.
He was one
a
of the founding
priest
members of my tribe.
He was a priest of Saraswati, who's then went evil and rogue.
Yeah, I'll let you get. Yeah.
Okay. I had no idea. To me, it's like, oh, this explains the occurrences of the undead over and over and over again. Happens to be tied to every single one of these brides and stones.
And it could.
It absolutely is. Absolutely is. Based
So
off
it's looking like
to me, this is just,
every time he takes a bride,
it's in that area.
that's where the undead runs.
So to me, it's like, oh, click this answered a big question to me. This is brand spanking new to me. I didn't even know Ashok was from 1500 years ago. I had no idea. So as soon as I have this conversation with the priestess, I thank her profusely, and then I start scampering my way back.
Slide a 1 in her robes and take off.
It's like a little.
Just real quick, can I see the other magic titty?
No context. And then I will just.
What's your question?
That was natural. No, carpet meth. You asked me the wrong way. So no. Just I will expeditiously make my way down the temple, essentially to share this newfound information.
A revelation.
Yes, exactly. With the party, and I will kind of stumble into the room where I thought
you have to be taken into there. And they bring you in. You are. Let's get rid of all these people that are not you. I know where that person is. I know where that person is. I know where that person is. All right. And you come in here into the center.
You don't know my life.
And everything appears to be normal as can be. All right. What do you do? I will. You need to turn on the AC side of it. Go ahead. It takes it a second.
This one.
It's the one on the right hand side. There's a button on the right hand side.
That's what I pressed.
Got it. Good.
I didn't want when I lit it.
Okay.
So I want to just kind of look around and see if I can. I don't think anything's wrong necessarily.
So roll investigation.
Okay. So that's. Oh, damn it! Can't I have to roll something I'm actually good at? All right. 7.
7. It takes you a while to actually locate it, but after a certain amount of time, you're like, wait a minute. That door is barred from the outside. Wait a minute.
Which door is
That's the room that Serenity was researching in last night.
Can you point on that?
But because you rolled a 7, you walk out the portal.
It's very obvious that it has been barred shut, but the thing is, it just takes him a considerable amount of time.
And we all know that from the first 48, that the first 48 hours of a missing person.
Let's not say 48 hours. Is how I want it. Okay. I'm going to walk up to the door, and I'm just going to put my ear to it real quick.
I don't hear anything inside.
This seems very peculiar.
Mm-hmm.
And becoming of a lady.
Hey,
I
DM,
think-
just out of curiosity, is that smell seeping through the door? Like under the door?
No.
Damn it.
I'm a little bit cautious about just removing this. I'm assuming it's just a bar that's.
And one of the robots comes up. What is it that you see? What is it that you're looking to learn today?
I'm looking to learn why this door is barred from the outside.
Oh my gosh. How in the world did that get there? And he goes down and he's struggling to lift it up. He's not strong enough. He doesn't even have the strength to do that.
Okay. So,
A heavy book would be too much for this guy.
Careful helping him. He might give you a migraine.
They're like this big.
okay. I'm not sure if this is being too paranoid, but I'm going to do it anyways. I am going to shapeshift into, let's see, I'm going to turn into a big-ass spider, because I like spiders, and it's a large one. So I'm going to do that before lifting this bar off the door, and pushing my way in.
All right, so all of the robots go back into nowhere, and then you start to hear that sound. But then you lift it. You lift that, and you step in the door, and it all stops. But you go inside. There's nobody inside.
Okay, I am going to seriously search around this room.
All right, so you search. Go ahead.
What do I roll?
You roll investigation.
Motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah, as druids, we hate that roll.
Yeah. Oh, pretty good. 17.
You don't find anything.
Son of a bitch.
No.
I don't find anything out of place.
Nothing out of place at all. Nothing. Hold that thought. You two arrive back at the temple. What would you like to do?
I mean, we knew he's in a meeting, so I thought Serenity was with us, but since she's not, then I would be going to her anyway.
All right. No perception on this at all. I don't perceive anything. I'm a very perceptive.
I would like to say that all of you know what I was here to do. I said from the beginning yesterday, these acolytes were supposed to be getting information for me, and
Right.
I woke up bright and early to meet them in the library. Okay.
Right. So, yeah, I would be going in to check and see what you found.
All right. You come in there probably a little bit after Vaelin has gone in there and not found anything.
Literally crawling on the ceiling, just looking for things.
You see
Yeah, I got a
a
place.
giant spider looking around, walking around in here.
I'm gonna fire a star wisp up at him. It's like cantrip.
Okay.
Like I would just see that, like that's not supposed to be here.
Okay.
Like there's no Serenity. There's a giant fucking spider.
What would you like to do, Merrid?
I would go, since we're trying to get our party together to go, with this night, I would want Peter. I would look to see to get Peter. Since Cale went to go get Serenity, we're both trying to find Vaelin, and I would want to try to get.
Well, he asked, did you find anything?
So I don't think I can communicate as a
You
spider.
can't. You're gonna have to change back.
Merrid, me and you have seen
Like when you saw us, did you change back? Because otherwise, I'm gonna fire the Starry Wisp at you.
No, and I don't think you would have fired a story. Like when I'm shape-shifting, I'm usually keeping some form of like my cloak or
So
something.
you can keep part of your clothing.
Oh, okay. So I recognize like, oh, that's, and as a
you would
druid,
know
I'm
it's
kind
me.
of looking for that.
I would know it's me.
Large spiders usually don't wear trousers.
He's got boots.
It's a very stylish belt for a black spider.
So when you come in, you ask if I found anything. I'm just gonna just shake myself like no.
All right, roll performance.
Very,
Elevate. Oh,
very strange.
See how well you do that.
disturbing. That is so.
So
disturbing.
if he allows it, can I cast detect thoughts on him so he can communicate with me?
Sure.
Yeah.
I rolled a 6 and then -1. So
All right. So as soon as I realize you have no idea how to communicate, I'm like, all right, cool. Detect thoughts real quick.
Peter pulls out his book and just begins.
Okay, so Peter's down. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Continue.
So
I
yeah.
found nothing but a barred door from the outside. And the little automatons out here don't seem to have the ability to have barred him. I can't find a partner anywhere.
Merrid, can you go look for somebody, like talk to one of the automatons if anything, see if they saw anything.
I would literally go to the first automaton that I'd run into.
Okay, all right.
The one that still has like a bandage.
Have you seen the young woman that we were with yesterday?
Oh, absolutely. She went in there.
Into this room.
In this room.
Absolutely, she went in that room.
Did you see
I
her
know
come out?
because she was waiting for people. She was waiting for James and Joel.
James and Joel. Where are James and Joel now?
Library card number.
They went in the room.
So I would go in the room and I would cast Detect Magic.
About the time you do it, Peter finishes it, and he just points to the table in the middle. It's there. Don't know what it is, but it will transport you somewhere.
So it's like a port key from Harry Potter. Awesome. Let's do this, boys. Okay. Before the. All right. Peter, I need you to go notify the High Priestess. Let her know what we found and where we're going, and if she can send backup, go with them and help us out once we get there.
Okay, so he goes to do that. Serenity.
Mm-hmm.
You are. This is the worst feeling to you because you are totally paralyzed the entire time, but your eyes are open as you are taken down through the sewers of the city, very carefully avoiding any sunlight. You know, when there's sunlight, the grates, they move you very carefully to the side of it. And roll a survival check. It would be a disadvantage unless you have an underground terrain thing.
Oh, I see how it is.
I don't think you do.
I see how it is. I can't get the survival checks.
So at the Syndicate, okay.
+9 to survival.
We'll get you. We will get you a survival check.
I have 29. I have +4. So let's see. Okay. Oh, 2 12s +4, 16.
All right. You are headed northward, and as you look up, you're like, roots? Really? And you're being carried deeper and deeper, and the roots get bigger and bigger and bigger. And after about 2 or 3 minutes, because the stench keeps overwhelming you, you're about ready to get loose, you're finally have regained some of your movement.
I'm gonna be real chill about that. I'm gonna be real chill about the movement newfound movement I found. I'm going to silently bonus action rage, if I can. Is seething with anger.
Oh, you need to make a wisdom. As you start to do that, you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's okay. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this.
Very, very silently.
That's gonna be a 12 plus
4, right?
Wisdom 4. Yeah. 12 plus another 16.
You try to rage, and you hear this voice inside you, and your body stiffens back up. It says, "Yeah, we have to find out where they are." And it says, you hear your voice saying, "Where are we going to?" And they have this entire conversation. And every time you try to say something, some other entity that you now know is inside you has taken over your body and is asking all these questions. Where are you taking us?
Does it seem malicious? Like the extra voice? Okay.
No, it's like, where are you taking us? What are you going to do with us? Is there money there? Are we really going there? And for the rest of the journey, you're trying the best you can, and you hear when you try to fight your way out of it, you are told, "I'll take care of this." You hear a voice inside your head telling you to just shut up.
Great time to have multiple personalities.
And let her take care of it. Or I believe it's her. Hold on, let me see.
Who's this wee bullshit?
Who is the we?
Ain't nobody paying rent up in here.
Baby.
Girl.
I'm gonna say girl inside my head to this voice. Girl.
No, it's actually a man. And it's a dwarven man. It says it very calmly. It says, "Quiet. I know what I'm doing here. We will get what we need from them. Then I will avenge us."
Avenge is not a good word.
So you all are now back to somewhat reality.
Was it dispel magic or detect magic that was used?
Detect magic.
Okay. So is this? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So at this point, I'm looking for the most expensive-looking mirror I can possibly find in this little area or in the temple. I need to find something that is worth over 1,000 gold.
Okay.
Is one of the robots worth over 1,000 gold?
It can be a crystal ball, silver mirror, or a font filled with holy water. Holy water! Hey, we got plenty of that here, right?
There is holy water here.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go find like a bowl, and I'm gonna get some holy water.
There's holy water here.
All right, cool. And I'm gonna cast 5th level scrying on Serenity. I'm sure I've got one of her possessions or a lock of her hair or something.
Okay, so you're familiar with her.
Yeah.
So you get I believe you get plus 10 to it. Go ahead.
Right, and if she wants, she can fail the save
I would
intentionally.
love to fail the save.
Well,
if possible.
Right.
And are you using the visual version?
I am using whatever 5th level.
Take a look at the description of the spell.
Right. So basically, what it says is that if it's successful, it creates an invisible orb that has sight and hearing right next to her. If something around her can see invisible objects, it can see me. scrying her.
All right.
But I got to take a risk here.
All right. So go ahead and roll your d20. She's on the same plane as you, so that's fine.
All right.
I'll let you know that.
Okay, I cast it.
It's a portal.
It's detection. Okay, did I
That's what we
cast
rolled.
it?
Well, if we're on the same plane as her, we've already gone through the portal.
Well, your portal brought her to the same plane. It just teleported her.
No,
off.
you haven't gone through it. You just found it.
Yeah.
I just
He
wanted
has no idea how to open it.
Right.
So basically, you see her. She's being carried. She has been tied up. She's being carried by two of those undead things that you saw her fighting the other night. And in addition, she has the oddest look of resolute, not barbarian anger, but very calm, focused anger on her face.
Okay. Looking around her surroundings, do I see those roots you were talking about a minute ago?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's. I would convey this to the party, and let them know, like, okay, the guard or the knight outside said that he knows. It looks like they're in a tunnel, like they're going underground, and he says he knows an entrance to this area. Let's go. I was coming to get y'all so we could go there anyway. Let's just go talk to him and have him show the way.
Alright, so it's gonna take you it's gonna take you, huh?
Can I reactivate the portal?
What would you like to try? It dawns on you that this Norkrith guy seems to be able to deal with portals very well.
I believe the soldier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna grab him and bring him
Time.
to the church then. Come on.
what's the one time?
You can only call it one time.
Oh.
He basically, like, above the table was like, this knight is really good at.
I'll do it.
It's good with portals.
And I would look to my fellows and explain to them what I'm doing, and I would pull up the dragon talisman, and I would whisper his name, Norkrith.
Okay. And then that guy from this morning opens up a portal and steps through, and he said, "That was sooner than I expected it to be.
And sooner than I wished it would have been.
So, what is it that you
You have the ability to open portals. One of the people I was with was taken through a portal in this table. Can you assist with reopening it?"
And the portal opens. And he says, "I'm glad to have helped, but sorry I will not get to meet Ashtok himself." And then he steps back through the portal.
Without hesitation, I'm just going to drop from the ceiling right through the portal.
Okay?
I'll jump in after.
It literally goes straight down into the sewers. Before I go any further, what is everybody's time?
It is 9:22.
Thanks.
9:22. You got to leave like 10 on the dot, right?
A hard cut on 10.
Okay. So, I will depend on you all to put your hand up. Okay, I gotta start packing, whatever you need to do. But I will continue here. This thing, it keeps saying something, anything. Tell me, I need to know. Why is it that he came in and attacked us? Why is it that he put the monastery down?
First of all, who is us? Before
He's not talking to you. He's talking to them. But you can say that to him. And he says, and inside your head you hear, the monks. He came in and he killed all of us. Make a wisdom saving throw. Normal.
Nat 20.
No, and the voice disappears and you have control of your body again. Alright, you all go down that portal. What do? You are in the sewers.
Is this a fairly one-track tunnel type thing?
Nope.
Okay. I want to just kind of look around and see.
Roll a survival check. There we go.
I'm gonna give him advantage because I can do that too.
If I don't get something crazy good off of this, I need to just pack my bags. So it is a 14 plus 9.
Okay. So there are tracks in this disgusting slime that seem to be fairly easy to follow. You are following them though, so you move at half speed, unfortunately. All right.
Alright, I'm gonna shift into my earth elemental form. I'm gonna be earth gliding underneath, like from the ground, because I don't disturb the ground when I move through the earth.
Yeah. I'm just trying to imagine. I'm just trying to think of all of that.
Because I'm descending right now, correct? Like, am I descending or am I moving forward through?
They're carrying you.
Right. No, but what I mean
Is the path going down, or is it like?
Are they carrying me?
What was your survival check?
Oh, fuck. 16.
North. The thing you can tell they're moving you north. You're already underground. Up or down, a little bit difficult to tell unless you were, if you were like an earth elemental or earth genasi or a dwarf. You might have more of a chance to do it.
Right.
Too bad that guy that was just inside of you, he seemed like he was a dwarf. Anyway, he's gone now.
He is? Yeah, I am okay with that because he wasn't giving me nothing to work with, and I was already terrified.
So what happens is you. Okay, go ahead. You can have, give me a couple of actions real quick.
Okay,
I'd like to do.
Okay. I could, in theory, move like they're carrying me. I understand we're underground, but like, could I like climb the root system, or could I like?
Your hands are tied.
My hands are tied. Okay.
You are bound.
Okay.
Absolutely bound.
Not if you're raging.
I'm gonna bonus action rage.
Okay.
We're gonna bonus action rage is the first thing that I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Which means that I get advantage on
strength and constitution.
Correct.
Should be.
Okay. And I want to. Would it be my action, or could it be an object interaction to try and break the binding from my hands?
Okay. So I will let you do a sleight of hand or an athletics check to break the binding.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You know what? Scratch that. I don't need my hands. I'm a monk. I'm going to kick both of these bastards with my.
You're restrained.
My feet are bound as well.
You
are. I'm gonna roll straight. I'm gonna roll an athletics check. Yeah, I'm gonna roll an athletics check. Wait, no. I'm gonna roll a dex or sleight of hand check. Wait, hold on. Let me just make sure.
You can roll a sleight of hand to slip out.
Yeah.
Or you can roll an athletics check to break.
I'm gonna do sleight of hand.
Okay.
Or would I get advantage on that athletics check because I'm raging? Technically?
Sure.
Straight? Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that. Okay. It's gonna be a 17 plus 2. 19.
Alright. So, what part of your body do you want to have broken free?
My feet.
Okay. Cut him or no?
He really wants to kick their ass.
I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it. And then, right here, and whatever's on the bottom.
No, it's not your feet. Instead of getting your feet, it's odd. Instead of getting your feet, you wiggle around enough, they drop you, and you take okay. So you use your slow fall to not take any damage, but you're laying on the ground now, and you smell that pungent smell again. Give me a Constitution saving throw, which you have advantage on.
Okay.
2 of them, sorry.
It's gonna be plus. It's gonna be. It's gonna be a plus. No, it's only +2. So that's gonna be a 16.
So it doesn't appear to be overwhelming you, but when that happens, you remember those picks that they had? They both pull out those picks, they put them at your throat, they say, move again, and we'll make you undead now. You're restrained, they automatically hit, and they're automatically crits.
I'm not going to move. I'm going to listen to what they say. I'm going to remain completely.
So they continue moving you, and eventually they pull you to the side, and you can see a little entrance in a gargantuan tree trunk up above, and they pull you around the light, and you see a human up there, and he nods to them, and they take you past it to what looks to be a wall. They take you through the wall, and there is a very powerful looking priestess woman in this room, and they sit and they lay you down on a table. My friends,
Rewinding just a real quick, because it kind of jumped away real fast. When you said that since we're following, we would be moving at half speed.
yes,
My immediate question was going to be, if I just shape into a wolf and track, am I still limited by that same movement restriction?
that's one of these. That's one of these. Is fate gonna help you? Let's see here. You want to cut him?
I will trust the fate of the cards here.
Okay, so let me shuffle them one more time.
I'm just basically saying is...
roll 20. If you get 20, the modifier is +1. If you get 20 on the die, you can move at full speed.
Can I use my...
19, you have to roll 19 or 20.
Can I use my well-rested advantage here?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Roll to it.
I'll pray for you.
19 or better?
Yeah.
Do I add any modifier, or is it straight?
Maybe 19 or 20 means you get 20 or 21 because the modifier is +1.
Oh, shit. Okay. No.
So you're moving at half speed,
No matter what. Okay.
but you're on the trail. You can tell this is her, and you can tell it's that stench. Yes, Cale.
So, with tremor sense and dark vision and everything, would I be able to speed us up?
See, you can move straight through it. The difficulty for you is you don't know where you're going to.
Right.
That would be the only thing that I would say.
And I didn't detect when she fell or anything. I didn't have any kind of detection on that.
It's 60 feet is your tremor sense, and more than 60
I also slow fall, so I probably didn't actually impact.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right.
Okay.
So eventually, you all start to see exactly what you saw. Have you been concentrating on your scrying thing?
No, and I had to do that in holy water back in the temple.
What was? Do we know if she was being moved quickly? Because I'm assuming there's two of them all
Fairly
holding her.
quickly.
I mean, I can maintain concentration on it, but yeah, I mean, I get it for 10 minutes.
Okay, so do you want to see where she is?
Yeah, I need.
So you easily could have followed her, and they went through a tunnel right off the edge, and they went underneath this huge tree and through a doorway that wasn't a doorway. And now you see this priestess woman beginning to perform some sort of dark ritual over her body.
Okay, so knowing all of that, I'd be going as fast as my 60-foot, or what is it, my...
So now that you've scried her, you have a better idea where she might be. Roll a survival check.
Yes, sir. 16.
All right. So you communicate to them that if they just follow you, they'll be able to get to the right place fairly quickly. So between the two of you, you cut down this journey significantly.
I don't know how dark it is in here, but I've got the blind side dark vision.
Okay?
Real good perception. Spiders are good in the dark, apparently.
Very good, yeah. Stop it.
So you said she's on an altar. There's like a stone altar.
I'm on a table, like a slab.
Right. Right. Stone, which is earth.
Merrid?
Here's what's finna happen. And DM, tell me if this is okay. I'm going to come out of that thing and scoop you out of there and launch myself basically back towards the team.
Well,
Like-
hold on. From where we are, like we see you now?
Right, so you see, yeah, as soon as you guys have eyes on,
So let me show you what you see here.
Okay.
You all come up from the tunnel right about here.
right.
And you saw them carry her underneath those roots, just directly under them. It's kind of a squishy passage for anybody who's above ground over to here. And she's in here. You have an idea of the layout of the room, but not everybody else does. Okay? You are inside there, but bound with the priestess and those two things there. This might be a decent place to just sort of chill for a week, or no? You wanna? If we get into this is.
I mean,
It's going to take more than 25 minutes, huh?
I know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you all can surprise me. Go ahead. You tell me. Go ahead.
I would at least like to see where the undead guys in relation to the priestess that's there.
Okay. I wish I could do this and only show you, but at some point you just got to deal with it. I'll look away. Nah, it's okay. You're good.
I'm not going to look away. I'm just going to let you guys know this in advance.
I'm screaming.
I'm still scrying, remember.
It might be a good idea to end this here so we can have a good experience.
I just want you to be the light of hope.
The light of hope is
So-
over here.
Yeah, you will not even remotely be able to finish this tonight because where they actually took her, the best of your knowledge, was through here, and into here.
Okay.
And there are all kinds of undead.
All right, well,
In
that
these
sounds like
areas.
a good place to call it
Yeah.
tonight, boys.
I think that's where we gotta.
All right, everybody. That was kind of fun and a little bit exciting.
Intense, crazy.
Shit's finna get real.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Not good until the DM gets to really mess with everybody.
Well, everyone, we shall see what becomes of me. Ha ha ha.
Hey,
Not the first time you've been taken.
Brian, is everything reversed on Discord for you?
No, not at all.
Not the
It's all
first time
perfect
I've
over
been
here.
taken.
Okay. Yeah, it's
This does feel significant.
I'm not going to get rid of that, but I am going to stop the stream so we can talk while I say what everything
Yeah.
will go on. I'll tell you what,